Hello there guys, it's me Unstable Voltage and welcome to the third episode of City Skylines. Our city is starting to grow. We're getting like 105 citizens per, is that per month or per week? Per week. We're getting 105 citizens per week now. We're still getting quite a bit of call for industry, although the industry is saying that they are short of workers, which is a little bit weird. I think it's mainly because they have positions for educated, well-educated, and, well, not highly educated in the case of this particular factory here. But we need to have better education. Saying that, we do have a high school and we have a secondary school. We could also start using some public transport. We do have the option for a bus depot. We don't have a lot of money at the moment, though, so we're going to have to be careful. We might put in a bus depot, mainly so people in the residential areas can reach the industrial areas more easily, and that might alleviate some of the traffic problems. We definitely have more call for industry though, so I think we are going to have to build more industrial area over here. So let's go ahead and do that. Now, once again, I am going for this sort of min-maxing grid thing, which is very ugly, but at least the residential area's got some interesting curves. And when we start building out in our next zone, we'll definitely make sure that things are a little bit more interesting than they are here. Let's go ahead now and just zone this as industrial. I think we'll zone that entire area along the back as well. And we won't make the same mistake we did last time. We'll make sure that these guys have a water connection, or they'll get a little bit on the upset side. That doesn't quite reach. Let's go from there. There we go, so everyone will have water. Now, one thing that is worth looking at is if we have any... Where are we? Outside connections, population, land value, natural resources. There we go. What we want to look at is fertile land. So we've got a bit of fertile land down here on the river. We've got some forest land on the opposite side of the river. So we could set up some sort of forestry industry on this side of the map. We've got a lot of oil up here, so we could go ahead and set up some oil industry. And bear in mind, we do have this this second block that we could build now. So what we could actually do is we could build a connection off the highway here, and we could go and build up in this direction and start building some oil industry. We definitely have the option to do that. We've got some unique buildings unlocked, but you need to get certain things in order to get these. So Statue of Industry, for example, we need to build 10,000 squares of industrial. So these things actually are sort of landmark based. We'll get there eventually, probably. Let's have a look and see how we are doing. Do we want to build over there yet, or is that probably a little bit hasty? It's probably a bit hasty, because bear in mind, if we do build any industry up here to get the oil, we're then going to have to build all of the roads, all of the water pipes, all of the power pipes. Transport, yeah, we know we can have a bus station. Education, we've already got an elementary school and a high school. We've got a police department. We've got a healthcare department. We don't have a cemetery. It does use a fair bit of electricity. But is it worth getting one then? Is it going to upset people if it's nearby? Well, let's try popping it down there. Actually, you know, it is happiness. People like to have that around. That's fine then. So that should have water. Everything's going to be good there. So do we want to try... Let's go back into that resource map. What sort of industry specialization can we have? I think it's if we actually go to our... yeah, we don't have the oil industry yet. I don't think we do. No, we don't have the oil industry yet. So we could go for farming or forestry, but we don't really have anywhere that is worth doing it. Got a fire over here. Got a few fires over here. I think what we're going to do is invest in a second fire department because the industrial area seem to like setting things on fire. So go ahead and put that out. Yeah, our fire safety is pretty bad. So should fire... Now, that says fire safety. So this is the hazard level. So we want it to be as low as possible. Okay, what's our fireman efficiency? That's the green lines on the road. So our firemen can reach most of the places. This area here isn't being served by the fire department at all, really. So if you live in the posh area, your house is going to burn down. We will probably get another fire department here, or what we could potentially do is we could go into our districts view, and we need to make this a little bit larger. Actually, we're in Walnut Square. We want this to be this is a residential district. We want this to be a little bit on the larger side now, and this is Walnut Square. It's not. Oh, don't want to delete that. It's not really a square. Right, so now we've got this random place in the middle that I've accidentally created. No, this is Walnut Square. Make it bigger. There we go. Managed to sort that out. Yeah, we've got electricity problems. We've got houses on fire. I think we are just going to need to get a fire department in there. Let's make sure we are on the full speed. I've really got to stop right-clicking to dismiss things because I just end up doing that. Let's get rid of that. Do we want to set you an individual policy here? Because we could use smoke detector distribution. Probably going to cost us quite a bit of money. We'll see. We're currently making 2.2 per week. We'll see how much of a difference that makes. We are short of electricity. We did lose a building there, and we're going to get people moving out if we're not careful. So as you can see, the amount of money that we are making is dropping quite drastically at the moment. We're going to be better off actually having a fire department here. Now, we're very, very short on electricity. We could build another one of those things. How much do we need for the power plant? 19,000. I think we'll just build a secondary power plant, the rate things are going. And not buy too many more of these turbines. Although, how do they work out? 12,000 for up to 20 megawatts. Yeah, the coal power plant still works out slightly better, even though it does create a little bit more pollution. So we'll wait until we can do that. We've actually got people moving out now because we've got so many houses without power, which is a little bit annoying. We could potentially take out a second loan, and we probably should do, because we're getting into a little bit of trouble here. So let's go and pause the game very quickly so we don't make any more of a mess of this. Let's go and get a second power plant. It can probably go up here somewhere close to the first one, I suppose. Just keep them all together. So we do now have a secondary power plant. Job done there. We also need to get ourselves a fire department very, very desperately over here near the new area. That wasn't a fire department, was it? No. This is the fire department. Either way, my previous comment still stands. It is needed. So the fire department can go there. We'll go ahead, we'll unpause the game, we'll go to Walnut Square, and we'll tell the policies to remove that smoke detector distribution. That'll save us a little bit of money. And we're starting to rebuild now, actually getting some bigger buildings starting to appear in the commercial areas, which is quite nice. We've still got a lot of demand for residential, so let's go ahead and make all of these available areas residential that we can see. I could just paint these in, I suppose, would be a lot quicker, but let's go and get some more residential going on. We should probably then think about making a lot of this residential where we can as well. So let's go ahead and do that. Now, we've taken out quite a few loans. Hopefully, we're going to be making a little bit more money now. I did say that I would like to put in bus services, and I still do. But I don't want to run out of money. We could put taxes up a little bit more. I mean, our population generally is happy. We've got a lot of information here on our budget screen. We can see what's costing us money. The vast majority of money that we are spending is on electricity. Now, what we can actually do, and what I probably should have done, is without necessarily building more power plants, you can put more money into the budget, which will give you more power efficiency at a higher cost. Or you can put less money into the budget, which will give you lower power output, so less efficiency, but at a lower cost. So what we can do, for example, is we can go and have a look at our electricity usage and see that we do have a bit of a surplus on electricity at the moment. So given that we do now have a slight surplus, let's go ahead and bring that down to, say, 85%. So that will cost us less money overall. And now if we go and have a look, we are sort of in the yellow. Not too happy about being in the yellow, because the moment we get a few more buildings, that's going to cause us some problems. Let's put it up to 90%. And we're now just sort of teetering in the green. So we've saved a little bit of money. If we start realizing that we're losing power, then we will go ahead and and put that up a little bit more. What we can do, though, is we can go in here and we can actually adjust taxes. So we can go ahead and say to our residential areas, well, we want 10% tax from you, or even 11%. Everyone's relatively happy at this point, and there's demand for all three types of zone. So if there's high demand, then there doesn't seem to be much of a problem with bringing up the taxes. It does look like we have an abandoned building or two. Let's go ahead and get rid of those. Not sure if I can see any more. Oh, yeah, no, we've got another one over here. Let's go ahead and get rid of that one. Don't need that because it makes the town look dirty. Is that the last one? Yep, we have one over here, of course, didn't we? Because we did have a fire. Did we? Oh, no, I think that one actually got rebuilt. So, okay, things aren't going too bad. What are we up to now, population-wise? We're still gaining people per week. And we're up to almost getting close to the 4,000 population mark. Definitely making a lot of money now. We've got demand on all three types of zone, which is good. Let's go ahead and do that public transport thing that we said we were going to do. Because the people that made this game are the people that made the Cities in Motion games, and transport was always a good thing there. Now, we do have a bus station. The bus station does cause some noise pollution, so there's definitely a consideration to be made about that. Let's go ahead and put the bus station over here. It is going to upset a few people, but hey-ho, what can you do? And then we can place bus stops to create a bus lane. So what we want is we want to have some... we do want to have some buses going into the... Oh, I didn't want to do that, did I? Can I get rid of that? Yeah. So we do want some buses going through this residential area here. And you can see this line is going to show where the bus goes. So we'll add a stop there. That's a bit of a long roundabout way of doing things. But let's go ahead and connect that up. And that will, can we go right back to the original stop and create a loop? Yep, fantastic. There we go. So we've got one bus lane, one bus route done. And then what we'll do is we will connect to an existing stop. At least I think we can. Can we do another lane? Or we just put another bus stop on the existing line, I think. Oh, no, well, we can do one over here. So we will put a couple of bus stops in. That serves quite a lot of this area. Obviously, it just depends which side of the road you put the bus stop on, because the bus does have to follow the flow of traffic. But we can move people into the industrial area here. And that means that people can use this as a means to get to work. And let us go... This bus is going to go in a really sort of strange route, but you can go all the way back to your original stop, which is there. That's fine. Now we've got a couple of bus routes. Not too sure how many people are going to be using those. So let's have a look at the state of play. We've got 42,000 in the bank still. Actually, we're up to 43 now. We're making money. We are getting people moving in. We've got a very good demand on all sort of zoning types. So we are going to have to put some more residential in. So I think it might be time to consider building a new zone. And maybe we want to actually go over here and build a new residential zone off the highway. Now that means we could potentially go ahead and put in some sort of intersection. Unfortunately, you can't put an intersection in on a road that already sort of exists. At least I don't believe you can. So we'll have to go ahead and do that manually. Let's get rid of that because I don't want it. So we could build something like this and build it manually. It's not a bad thing to do. Now what I'd like to be able to do, and how much time have I got? Yeah, probably got enough time to try and do this. So let's attempt it. I'm going to pause the game while I do this in case I make a right mess of it. I'd like to try and build the sort of intersection that we have on highways in the UK, which is essentially a raised on-ramp and off-ramp with a roundabout. So what I'm going to try and do is I'm going to create a 2-lane road. That's a 4-lane road. We want a 2-lane, one-way road. And what I want to do is I want it above the road. So I'm going to use the page up and page down buttons, and that allows me to create raised roads. So I'm also going to use the curved road tool. And what I'm going to attempt to do, probably unsuccessfully, is create a circle. Now, how big is this circle going to have to be? Doesn't help that the grid lines have disappeared. Maybe that was a little bit too large. Yep, there's the grid line there. So let's drop that there. Then we'll go on to... That's done something very strange, hasn't it? Let's oh, there. Yep. And curve it down to that grid line. And then there to the center, and then there. Space already occupied. Why haven't you connected up? It's a one-way road. Don't get me wrong, I completely understand that that is my own ineptitude. There we go. We've actually got... So now we have a one-lane road that goes clockwise, just like it would in the UK. So what I want now is I want these highway ramps, and we want a ramp that comes from here, and that is going to join onto this circle. So you come along the left-hand lane, you get off this ramp, and this ramp brings you onto the actual the circle, the roundabout, if you will. And then we need another ramp that goes down here. This is how you get back on going in this direction. And essentially then we want exactly the same thing, but it is done on the opposite side. So I'm just trying to make sure that I find roughly equal distances on both sides, although they're never symmetrical. If you actually see real English roads, they're awful. But there we go. I mean, that is more of a traditional English intersection as opposed to having these sort of overlapping crisscrossing roads, although there are some really interesting ones in the UK. But that's nice and efficient because it basically gives people a way to get on and off the motorway in both directions and either get back on going the same way or go in the opposite direction. Now, you might think, well, how is that useful? How does that let people on and off the motorway? Well, all I need to do now is build a road from this circle down to the ground, and then that is a slip road that people can use to get on and off, which means we can go over here, for example, and we can build ourselves some nice new residential area, which is what we'll do. We'll probably take a bit of a bigger road, maybe the 4-lane road, because we want to have a little bit of extra room to build. So let's go ahead and make sure this is straight. Now, this is actually showing as a bridge right now, because it is a raised road. But what we can do is we can use the page down button and bring it down to road level where appropriate. So this road is going to go down here, and then we will continue this road along, and this road will become our residential area. Now, it is a main road, so people aren't going to enjoy that too much, and I think what we'll do is next to the actual road itself, we will have our commercial area, and we'll probably build residential over this way. Want to save as much of this area over here as we can that's in the forest, because if you remember, we do actually have some oil over here. So the industry will be good at the top of this road. We'll build out in this direction a little bit, and this is where we can place some of our residential area. I'm quite happy with that intersection, actually. It's not exactly symmetrical, but it is certainly going to do the job. I'm going to have to finish this video quite soon, though. So let's just have a look how we're going. We can see we're getting quite a bit of pollution around the industrial area. The ground's going a sort of a weird purple kind of colour. There's the dump. Sounds like it has a lot of seagulls around. Yeah, it does. That's certainly accurately modelled. How's the water doing? It's not exactly crystal clear and blue, but as you can see, it's going sort of a funny sludgy colour now, heading out in this direction. We've nearly hit the 4,000 population mark. We're so close to doing that, it is unbelievable. We've got another abandoned building there. I'm guessing something burnt down and I wasn't keeping my eye on it. Let's go ahead and get rid of that. Maybe we can just get up to the 4,000 mark before we finish this video. I think that would be a little nice little landmark. Apparently, we're still having some healthcare issues, according to the people. Where is our healthcare button? That's fire safety. I'm probably completely missing it now. Health. There we go. How are we doing? Oh, it's not really good over here, is it? Not really good anywhere, to be honest. Average health. Let's go ahead and build ourselves another little hospital. And as usual, it's somebody's house that gets to suffer. Now, does it matter if we are covering... I think we only need to worry about covering the houses. Although it probably wouldn't hurt to have another one over here. So let's go ahead and do that anyway. No, we do get happiness boost from the industry for doing that. We currently have nobody moving in. Oh, no, we do. We still have people moving in. Not very many. I wonder why it's so low. Is it because our taxes are too high, or is it because we don't have anywhere for them to live? I don't think it's an issue with taxes. So we might just want to go ahead and put in a little bit more residential, which is something that I had anticipated. So let's go ahead, make sure we're on two-way street, we're on straight roads. Let's go ahead and build out to here. We are going to destroy a few buildings, but I think the buildings that we are destroying are old residential properties. I don't think we're destroying any of the specialist buildings, which is quite nice. Obviously, it does upset people when you bulldoze their house down, but... you know, unfortunately, you have to make room for progress, don't you? So let's go ahead and put in another road there. That gives us a bit more space. Now let's go in and drop in our residential area. Need to stop right-clicking. I'm terrible at it. And most of this area already has a water supply, which is fine. Let's just go ahead and make sure that everybody does have water, though. There'll be a few houses here that don't. We can just stretch a little pipe across. There we go. I'm not min-maxing. I know it's messy. Deal with it. Power was still okay. We might have to go in now and... we might need to go into our budget screen and just make sure that we put that power back up to sort of 100% again. Now, it's going to be a little bit more costly, but we are making a decent amount of money, so I don't mind that too much. We could have a look and see how the bus services are doing. We get 1 tourist and 199 citizens per week. Well, that's nice. At least someone's actually using the bus service. It's not bad at all. Not too sure where the tourists are coming from or what exactly they are coming to have a look at, but our residential demand has dropped now. We've got quite a bit of demand for commercial and industrial in comparison. We've certainly got room to put a little bit more commercial around over here. Let's go ahead and do that. And we could also put the commercial in at the side of the sort of highway here. Maybe that can be a little bit of commercial as well. I'm going to save this room so I can build out with some more residential area. We'll try and keep the industrial over here away from everything else. Although having the industry upstream, in hindsight, probably isn't the best idea. We are up to the 4,000 population mark. We didn't actually get an achievement for it. And we do need to build something up here because obviously this road is costing us money. We're paying maintenance for it and getting absolutely no benefits from it whatsoever. But I'm going to leave it there and do that on another video. So thanks a lot for watching, guys. I hope you are still enjoying City Skylines, and I'll see you next time. Until then, goodbye for now.